What's going on, everybody? My name is Jesse and welcome to My Wrestling Show, the place where we talk about the greatest sport in the world, wrestling. And we have a great weekend of college wrestling coming up. We have the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invitational this weekend. It's one of the biggest individual tournaments that we get every single year. It's going to be on Flow Wrestling December 2nd, December 3rd. Now, I love college duels. There's nothing quite like watching two teams that don't like each other very much duke it out. But with an individual tournament, I love being able to sit down and watch wrestling for 6, 7, 8 hours in a day, 2 days in a row. If you're an Ohio State fan or a Cornell fan or a Northern Iowa fan, you're going to be able to sit down and watch 30, 35, 40 matches of your team wrestle. And so I just love to be able to sit down and just watch wrestling all day. And so I'm really looking forward to the CKLV this year. There are 6 things that I'm going to be looking for this weekend and paying attention to. First, at 133 pounds, what is Vito Arujau going to look like up a weight versus some high-level competition? Now, we saw him beat Taylor Lamont of Wisconsin. He got a major decision, but he's going to see some really high-level competition in Mikhail McGee, Dylan Ragusin, Chris Cannon, and Sammy Latona. He's going to have to beat 2 of those guys to win this tournament. I'll be interested to see, does he blow through the field, or does he have to kind of squeak out a win in sudden victory? If he blows through the field, if he's winning by a major decision in every single match, we come out of this tournament thinking, okay, Vito can challenge Dayton Fix and RBY for a national title. Now, if he just squeaks out some of these matches, wins in overtime, he's just another guy in the fold in a really, really deep weight. This is going to be a really fun weight. It's super deep, so I'm going to be watching 133 pretty closely. Next, 197 pounds, Bernie Truax of Cal Poly. Very similar to Vito. He moved up from 184 pounds into the 197 pound weight class. So what is he going to look like against some really quality competition? Last year, down at 184 pounds, he was in the same weight class as Aaron Brooks, Miles Amin, Trent Hidley, and Parker Keckeisen. 184 was a really deep weight class last year. He actually beat Parker Keckeisen at the national tournament on the front side. So Bernie Truax is a really high level wrestler. He had a nice win over Jackson Smith of Maryland, but I want to see what he does against this field at the CKLV. I'm really hoping we see Stephen Buchanan enter this field. He hasn't wrestled this year, but I want to see what Bernie does versus a guy like Stephen Buchanan, who is an established guy at 197 pounds. Now, even if there's no Stephen Buchanan, 197 is super deep. A lot of the guys ranked from 10 to 20 are really, really quality wrestlers. And so we're going to be able to have a good measuring stick on where Bernie is at this weight class. If he can win this title in convincing fashion, a lot of speculation is going to start about him being able to beat Max Dean, beat Rocky Elam, beat Jacob Warner to win the title at 197 pounds. The next thing I'm going to be watching, 141 pounds. This weight class is actually pretty interesting to me. The weight is wide open. So think about this. The number 1 guy in the country right now, Andrew Ramirez, he didn't even place at the national tournament last year. He lost in the blood round. So this weight class is wide open. 13 of the top 24 guys in the country are going to be in this bracket. And so we're going to be able to learn a lot about 141 pounds. I'm going to be specifically paying attention to Ryan Jack, Tom Crook, and Vince Cornelia of Cornell. I want to see if some of these guys can have a breakout tournament and kind of put their name at the top of the list for contenders in this weight class. So the results of this tournament at 141 pounds, it's going to start to shape the picture for us of what this weight class might look like going towards the end of the season. The next thing, you need to subscribe to this channel. If you don't, your favorite wrestler might lose this weekend. You don't want that to happen, so make sure you subscribe. Going into 149 pounds, unfortunately, there's probably going to be no Yanni, but even if there's no Yanni, this is still going to be a weight worth watching. There's still going to be a lot of quality wrestlers here. We're going to have the number 3, the number 4, and the number 5 guy at this weight. And the interesting part here is they're all in different conferences. Jonathan Milner in the SoCon, Kyle Parko in the Pac-12, and Sammy Sasso in the Big Ten. So how this weight ends up breaking down could be really, really important for seeding at the national tournament. If Jonathan Milner wins this bracket and wins this tournament, he has a real opportunity to potentially get the number 1 seed at the tourney. Now, I think if Austin Gomez wins out, he's probably the 1 seed. If Austin Gomez takes a loss and Yanni wins out, Yanni's probably the 1 seed. But you never know how the committee's going to treat an undefeated wrestler like Jonathan Milner versus guys who have a couple losses. If Jonathan Milner wins, if Kyle Parko wins, these guys won't bump into a Sammy Sasso, a Yaya Thomas, a Yanni Diakomahalis for the rest of the year. And so it's really going to matter a lot for seeding purposes. Plus, we get to learn more about Jackson Arrington and Caleb Henson, 2 guys that have had really quality wins over ranked guys this year. Can they build on that success? Will one of them continue to break out and kind of push to the top 10 ranking, get a couple wins over top 10 guys and kind of solidify themselves as real contenders at this weight? Great weight, 5 returning All-Americans, 6 guys in the top 12. This is going to be a weight I'm going to be paying attention to this weekend. 184 pounds. This is my favorite weight of the weekend of the tournament. 7 out of the top 10 guys in the country are going to be in this field. This tournament might as well be an NCAA tournament preview without Aaron Brooks. There's going to be so many high-level matches and quality matches. You're going to want to watch the finals live and then go back and you're going to want to watch the 3rd place match, the 5th place match, the Conci semi matches, because all of those matches are going to be matches that you would typically see Saturday morning at the NCAA tournament. I'm watching this weight simply because it's a really, really good bracket. There's a lot of ways it could shake out because there's so many quality wrestlers. And so I'm watching this weight just to see a lot of good wrestling action. If 184 pounds was my favorite weight class, 285 pounds has my favorite matchup. We could potentially see Colton Schultz of Arizona State versus Mason Parris of Michigan. This match better happen. If this match doesn't happen, I'm going to be upset. I want to see this match. At the All-Star Classic, Greg Kurtlevitt beat Tony Cassiope in pretty convincing fashion. So Greg has solidified himself as the clear number 2 guy in this weight. What I want to know from this match, does Mason Parris return to his 2021 form? If you remember back to that 2021 season, it was Gable Steveson, Mason Parris, and everyone else wasn't even close. If it wasn't for Gable Steveson, Mason Parris dominates that year and wins a national title. He was really, really good, but then digressed a little bit this past season. If Mason Parris returns to 2021 form, beats Colton Schultz, this Greg Kurtlevitt match versus Mason Parris becomes really, really interesting. If Colton Schultz wins, he solidifies himself as the true number 1 ranked wrestler in this weight class. Colton Schultz looked great versus Rocky Elam. What is he going to look like versus Mason Parris? I'm so excited for this match. I hope it happens. I'm definitely going to be tuning in to the CKLV to watch this match. That's what I got for you today, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. Subscribe, like, comment. Let's build a community around the sport that we love, and we'll see you in the next video.